Okay. So welcome to everyone who might have jumped in towards the tail end of that last session. We know that the timing got a little bit off with that first round going a little bit longer. So my name is Marna Rome, and I am the IB coordinator at Susan Lindgren. And very pleased tonight to be working with my friend and colleague, Anne. And I'll let Anne introduce herself. Oh, you're on mute, dear.
Thank you. Marna, I'm just going to quick check. Did you press record?
I just did.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. All right. So as Marna said, my name is Anne Locks, and Marna is the International Baccalaureate Coordinator at Susan Lindgren. I am at Peter Hobart Elementary, and then Olivia Tolzien, who you might have already met this evening, is the Assistant Principal and the International Baccalaureate Coordinator at Aquila. And Olivia is facilitating a session tonight with students. But again, I feel so fortunate to work with this team. Tonight we're going to talk about IB-PYP, and it is going to be a flurry of information. IB stands for International Baccalaureate, and PYP for the Primary Years Program. And I'm going to let Marna dive into a little bit about the International Baccalaureate.
So this is the mission statement that kind of provides an overview and gives you a little insight about what we strive for and what our goal is by being an IB school. The International Baccalaureate aims to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people who help to create a better, just, and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. The education empowers students to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners who understand that other people, with their differences, can also be right. We talk a lot about multiple perspectives, about how there are multiple lenses or views that we can take on any given topic, and we really value that. And also the fact that we are aligned to the Minnesota standards, so that becomes a big part of what we do. But it's a way to kind of tie it all together. And Anne will share a little bit more about that.
Yes, and we also talk about our commitment to culturally relevant pedagogy and what it means to have high academic standards, and to also make a space in our curriculum for students to not only see themselves represented, but to see others who may look or live differently than they do. And one of the things that I so appreciate is our ability to think about what we've learned and how we can look at things that may be unjust or inequitable in our world, and how do we use what we know and can do to make the world a better and more peaceful place. Sometimes when we talk about the International Baccalaureate, people have a connection to a high school program, of which in high schools, typically some students will take IB classes, but very few will graduate with an IB diploma. And the PYP, or Primary Years Program, which we have at 3 of our elementaries, is for all students. It encompasses all of our students, all of our staff. It's every day, all day. The Middle Years Program is in St. Louis Park, also encompasses all of our middle school students. And then, like I mentioned before, there's 2 separate programs at the high school level called the diploma or their certificate. And those are for some students who opt into them, but you don't have to because you're part of the school. But St. Louis Park is unique in that we offer a K-12 pathway, K-12 IB pathway for all of our students as an option, and that's rare. And so it's very special to St. Louis Park, and it's unique even in the United States to have a district that offers that. The International Baccalaureate itself is over 50 years old. It started with that high school diploma program, and then the middle years program, and then the primary years program, and the latest to be added was the certificate program. It is a framework. So the IB doesn't tell us what to teach. It gives us a framework for best practices in education, and it gives us standards and practices that we are evaluated on by evaluators from around the world. The IB gives us an opportunity to be part of a global community, not only for our students, but for our staff. IB has over 7,000 programs worldwide across 5,000 different schools and in 158 different countries.
So next, we'd like to share a little bit more about what really does differentiate, what makes it different and unique when you are in an IB education program. And the first point is the fact that we really focus on um, more than just knowledge. I mean, we want kids to, of course, know a lot of things, but we also focus on conceptual understanding and kind of like the bigger picture, like really getting at the concepts behind the knowledge and also skills. And in addition to those things, the personal development of the learner is a key ingredient. And then what I think really sets it apart is the fact that after we gain this knowledge and conceptual understanding, we've acquired the skills, we're, developing ourselves in our personal, about each of us as people. We also then challenge ourselves and each other to move into action and to think about what are we going to do now that we have this new knowledge and this new understanding. So that move to action is a critical piece. And the other aspect of this whole program, which this is my 30th year in education. St. Louis Park is one of probably about 6 different districts I've worked in, and it's the only district that I've worked in that has the official membership of the IB program. And with that comes the opportunity to do collaborative planning and reflection by grade level teams. And this is key because I've been in schools where we have some amazing things happening, but they're little pockets of excellence or people doing their own thing. And we sometimes call that working in a silo. But not only do we have this permission, but we have the expectation that teachers are planning and reflecting together on the lessons that they're sharing with their students. I think that that's a really important thing that helps benefit our students. And also, I appreciate the fact that we have this focus on inquiry because, developing curiosity and making that a centerpiece of the way kids learn is. I think it's just such a central piece. I mean, it's the whole point of being an IB school is that we want kids to be asking questions, to be focusing on the things that excite them about learning. So that focus on inquiry is huge. And finally, the fact that we are all about being global and international minded, that we have this interconnection. As Anne mentioned, the program exists all across the world in thousands of places, and it's such a rich network. I took a class this summer with I think there were 10 or 12 educators, and we spanned like 8 different time zones. So it's an opportunity for our students and for our teachers to really benefit from multiple perspectives and just learning from people all around the world. And the next piece is this idea of a learner profile. So this was one of the most favorite things that I, as a classroom teacher, love sharing with students, helping them develop their understanding of what these attributes or these qualities of a learner are, because I think they impact kids, and because they're introduced and have exposure and deep learning throughout their grade levels, whether kindergarten through 5th grade, so they truly learn what it means to be an inquirer and what it means to be knowledgeable and to be a thinker. We talk about and spend time learning about what it means to be an effective communicator, to be principled, how we can be open-minded as a learner, and also bringing in that whole piece of how important it is to be caring and to be a risk taker, how to balance things in our lives, and finally to be reflective, because we teach kids from the get-go that mistakes are just an opportunity. Like, be reflective, and what did you think before, what do you think now, and what might that do when you approach that whole action cycle. So I really value and appreciate this idea of the learner profile, and I think it really serves our students well.
It also ties back to what Marna had shared with you earlier about one of the cornerstones or key pieces of the International Baccalaureate is that in each of our units of study or units of inquiry, as we call them, it's made up of five key components. And that's again that knowledge. What do we want students to know? What do we want them to understand? What do we want them to be able to do? Skills. Then also how are we helping them develop? And we use these attributes of the learner profile in helping them develop. And then how to use this, tie it all together in how we navigate the world. The programs or units of inquiry that I mentioned earlier, there are 6 of them, and they are who we are, where we are in place and time, how we express ourselves, how the world works, how we organize ourselves, and sharing the planet. And these units of inquiry, again, include what we just talked about, the knowledge, the understanding, the skills, personal development, and then we empower students based on what they know, then to take action. So who we are is a unit that our kindergartners study. And then again, in a different size and shape, they study it again in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade. Each unit, each time they study it, it increases in rigor. The relevance changes depending on their age, and it might have a different, like it's still based on sharing the planet, let's say, but it might be about like farms versus clean water and access to clean water. This is just a sample program of inquiry, how we were sharing before about kindergartners and sharing the planet can talk about how people use the earth's resources to produce and provide food, and then how that changes up till fifth grade. Access to resources can cause conflict. Exhibition is our capstone project for our fifth graders. That's where they put all that they've put to all they merge all that they've learned between kindergarten and fifth grade to create their own unit of inquiry, and then make a presentation to our community. I'm going to stop there. We've told you so much information in a short amount of time that Marta and I just wanted to see what was coming up for all of you. If you had any questions or anything you're wondering about, don't be shy.
And if you're like me, you'll think of something like 10 minutes from now, or maybe an hour or two from now, and you'll think, oh, I wish I would have asked that. So please know that you are more than welcome to reach out to us through our school office. If you call, they can share our email address or our voicemail, put you through to our voicemail if we're not in the office at that time. But yeah, if there's anything that is, that if I'm assuming that a lot of the folks who are with us tonight may be families who have their first child entering school. So if that's the case for you, you may not, have a child in school at this point, and so you might think of things at a later date. And we are always eager to share more with folks if you reach out to us at any time.
I think what Myrna just said is probably the most important part too, is that we realize how precious your to be kindergartner is to you, and the amount of trust that you are considering sharing your child with us. And we take that very seriously. And we're just really grateful that you are here this evening. And again, this is kind of a quick time frame of turnaround and information. And knowing how important this decision is, we are both more than happy to take time to have a conversation with you about um, teaching and learning at Susan Lindgren, Aquila, Peter Hobart.
That's great. I have one question.
Yeah, please.
The last chart that you showed there about the learning through the years, is there a place that we can just, for my personal interest, it's exciting to learn about. Is there a place that we can see that or look that up online?
Yes. So what I showed you was Peter Hobart's, and I believe that is available on our website. And I think that all three, Aquila, Susan Lindgren, and Peter Hobart, have it available on their school websites. So it would be under what's called the Program of Inquiry.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And if it isn't there, I'm happy to share ours with you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for the question. Absolutely. And actually, I'm going to put the link in the chat box. This is just what came up. It's a third grade, a sample of a third grade IB program. And I went ahead and grabbed the one from Peter Hobart. So if you click on that link, that should take you to the website. And it kind of goes through those 6 units that Anne just talked about. And then I don't know if it will actually take you to that exact same type of grid, but it will get you to the page. So if you look under IB-PYP information, there's a tab on the left column for just IB documents. And there's a whole list of things there too. So hopefully that will help lead you in the right direction for more information.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions from anyone? All right. Well, we appreciate your time tonight. And yeah, it's definitely a lot to take in this current climate, with things being so different and not having the opportunity to actually visit the schools in person and take a tour if that's something you were interested in. So we know that this doesn't quite take the place of having that in-person opportunity, but we hope that it helped provide just a little more insight about what our schooling opportunities are like in the St. Louis Park District. There we go. Hi there.
Oh,
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
you. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
So I'm going to click stop record.